Hey, hey you. I hope this sounds okay. There's a fan under my computer because it's like 106 degrees or something like that in Sedona right now. I've been staying cool. I'm pretty much naked right now. Just had salad with a bunch of cucumber and drinking like super cold kombucha and just like feels good. Anyways, I love you guys so much. I wanted to share with you, you know, a quick idea. I'm putting together a new book. Gosh, all these books, huh? I tell you guys about all these books, and it's funny. I put myself in this pattern where I don't feel inspired to finish because at the end of the day, like again, Mahanomi not being able to work for me full time really, really affects the way I mentally approach Mahanomi. Um, which is perfect because now I'm about to teach myself something. I mean, I've already made the adjustment, but you'll see how this makes sense. So, anyways, I'm writing a new book, and this one's for real now because things are shifting with Mahanomi, and very, very soon, within the next like 2 weeks, it's going to be full time. That's all I'm doing basically. This new book, right now, the working title right now is The Seven Codes for Conscious Reprogramming. Or conscious programming, I guess. 7 codes for conscious programming. Anyways, 7 different codes, things to apply to your life, ways to look at things that really put you in a powerful position. Uh, and this one I want to talk about. One code is called the approach. The other code is called the response. There's a lot of things in life that we seemingly don't have control over. But what we always have control over when we get good at practicing consciously choosing our will is our approach to things and our response to things. These are really big codes, okay? And I think hopefully in some of the description I give about all this stuff in the next few videos, you guys will get what I'm saying about all this programming thing. Easiest example, okay? You're on your way to work and you're late, okay? You already know you're late to work, even like 20, 30 minutes late. So obviously with those circumstances, you can assume how your boss is going to react. Okay? And it's probably fair to assume your boss will react and not respond. That's where you come in. There's a difference between reacting and responding. I'm sure you guys have an idea of what that is already. But really, you're already late, okay? You can't control that. What you can control is your approach, aka how are you going to walk into work knowing you're late? What are you going to be what will your demeanor be like? What will your posture be like? How will you be breathing? How are you setting yourself up to approach all the potential circumstances you might be walking into? And then, with all those potential circumstances already mapped out in your head, which your brain is going to do anyways, since your mind is only here to solve equations, you look at anything a certain way and it gives you every variable. I'm sure you already are used to that and you're probably tired of it too, your mind thinking so much, right? If you can use it to your advantage, you can direct. Your mind's going to be doing its job no matter what. But when you learn to appreciate that, you can actually start directing your mind to do its job under your will. Um, so your approach, how are you going to walk in there knowing that there are different assumed circumstances for you to experience, and then with all those assumed circumstances, you can create the response necessary. So one assumed circumstance, you're going to walk in, and your approach could be, you're like, well, you're late. Who cares? You're just going to get to work anyways. You feel bad. It wasn't even your fault. You were late. There was traffic, whatever, you know? But your boss is going to be mad anyways. Let's say that's an assumed circumstance and a pretty rational one because you know your boss fairly well. Well, then the only thing you really have, because you could walk in there as centered and feeling as good as you want, but your boss is going to get pissed either way. So your next step is the response to your boss. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now it's one thing to, a reaction to your boss. Maybe your boss is pissed, and then you go, well, there's nothing I can do about it. There was traffic, blah, blah, blah. That's a reaction. A response would be different. But I'm not going to give you an example of that because that's where you get to come in and be the magician that you are. But just know that, you know, if this whole oneness thing is really real, then you're in control and not in control of everything. Like everything you're running into is a mirror of you, here to show you something. You can learn, evolve, grow, become bigger and stronger and better from every single circumstance in your life, if you choose that to be part of your approach. So even if you go in there and you get fired because you're late, why should that be disempowering, right? So about this whole code, these codes for reprogramming, it's reprogramming yourself so that you can be empowered by everything. Isn't that a great approach, a great option, a great response, to be empowered by everything? No matter what happens in your life, you can learn from it if you want to. The Daily Love, there was an awesome quote recently, and they were saying, tragedy happens to everybody. And let's say take two individuals, both had their parents die in a freak accident, right? One individual is depressed for the rest of their life. The other individual decides, keyword being decides to be empowered by it and creates a non-profit charity that supports kids and having awesome, interactions with their parents. Why not? Yes, it takes time. Yes, it's hard. But the moment you accept that, and I'm going to keep telling you guys that, analyze your life right now. Something you're not preferring, something that's you want fixed, you want different, accept that it's going to take time. Starting from right now, it's going to take time. It might take a year, it might take the next 5 minutes. It's going to take time. Accept that. If you don't accept that, you're screwed. I'm really working on the language thing too. If you don't accept that it's going to take time, you're totally screwed. Accept that it might be hard. It might even get harder than it is right now. Accept that. Because if you don't accept that, you have the wrong approach. And yes, there is no right or wrong thing, but let's just be frickin' use our brains here. If you don't accept that you trying to fix something in your life might be hard, it might take effort, might even get a little stressful, if you don't accept that, then when you're in that mode, when you are in that stress, you're going to freak out and you're going to resist it, and that's stupid when it comes down to it. Especially because you're a smart person and you have the know-how and the willpower to be prepared, to reprogram yourself, to have the correct tool belt. There's not just one, but the correct options of approaching things and responding to things, aka approaching life and responding to life. You wake up in the morning, how are you going to approach your day? And there's a really important relationship between the approach and the response thing, because you could have a dozen approaches lined up and none of them could even work out the way you preferred. And that's why you got to have that 13th approach, which is approaching some things objectively, knowing that the universe throws a lot of curveballs. So your approach, one of your approaches needs to be able to respond accordingly, meaning respond to whatever happens, and respond with forgiveness, unconditional love, acceptance, and choosing that this experience, along with every single other one in your life, can be, and is, if you accept it, a learning experience. It's always the case. That's never not the case. A mistake's only a mistake if you choose not to learn from it, right? I feel like saying this again because it's so true. It's like the hero has become, the villain is becoming. You can be the worst type of person in the world, but if you're willing to be the best type, you're better than most. Take 5 minutes, I dare you. I like my tone in this video. I feel really good right now, and I'm just trying to, excuse me, just lay some stuff out, because I've been getting a lot of personal messages from people, and this feels good. I dare you to take 5 minutes and acknowledge whether or not you're willing and willing's a different meaning for different people. Maybe I'll explain it. But that you're willing to do what it takes to be the best you can be. Part of that willingness is accepting it's going to take time, and accepting it might be hard. Accepting that it might be the hardest thing you've ever done in your entire life. Is that worth it? Of course. You know, I not only am willing to do that, but I've chosen that. And life has thrown a lot at me. You want to be the best you can be? Well, you're going to do your shadow work quick. And you're going to get a lot of mirrors immediately. And you're going to call in a lot of relationships, friendships that are active reflections, that really get under your skin and really show you what you technically chose to see. So you can clear it up and be the best you can be. Are you up for that? It's okay. That's the best part. Another one of the codes is the tribe. So when this video is done, which will be very soon, acknowledge your willingness and start building your tribe. Find some others. Find one of your best friends and say, hey, isn't it amazing to be alive? I want you to know that I respect you as being my friend and in all the ways you've been there for me. Do you want to do an experiment with me? Let's see how frickin' legit we can get. Let's get super healthy. Let's start learning more things. Let's watch more documentaries. Let's start working out more together. Let's make meals together. Find some friends and do it. Go for it. And find the friends that are interested in doing that with you. And it doesn't mean like if the friends that don't want to do it aren't good friends. They're just not there yet, and that's okay. But you'll find some, and they'll be there. And I'm here. And I'm here to help. I love you guys so much. Have a wonderful day. Check out my website, Facebook, blah, 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 blah. I love you so much. Acknowledge your willingness. What are you willing to do? And find some friends to do it with you.